There is a physical, social and cultural disconnect between Lidcombe and Sydney Olympic Park. Olympic Park's fast-paced urban growth will increase to engulf the skyline in opposition to the slow-paced growth of Lidcombe. The urban condition site is the in-between gateway at Thresholds, yet currently offers no purpose in addressing a connection between the two opposed suburbs. Furthermore, the currently unused Pepita Rail Trail defines a secondary ground plane that is disconnected from the street plane. Its interwoven passageway could link the two suburbs as a stemming thoroughfare.
Plans for Lidcombe's development covers an area of private residential growth as well as diversification into high technology manufacturing. Carter Precinct, however, focuses more on a high-density, high-rise residential, breaking the form factor and level changes to Lidcombe. Olympic Park's repeating vernacular in high-rises further creates a rift between the three precincts as boundaries are formed. Lidcombe's typology to Olympic Park demonstrates a transition between two fundamentally different experiences. Across the last 100 years, the WestConnex construction has been a driving force in the disconnect most prominent between the suburbs. What remains as heritage for both communities documents a disparity in culture and historical use. The households, occupations and age group between precincts vary, with Lidcombe having an aging population compared to Olympic Park. Our site is essentially a gateway between two boundaries created by two heavy nodes of circulation and activity. Lidcombe Station is the starting point that funnels circulation from both suburbs it separates. The plans for the revitalised Wyatt M. Phillips Park acts as a node of social activity meant to congregate citizens of Lidcombe. Olympic Park Stadium finds varying levels of social activity based on scheduling and events, but altogether is a large place of gathering. In contrast, Olympic Park is the ending point of a node that physically affects the site minimally as it disperses circulation around it. The site's issues with boundary conditions is similar to the ICC's public domain interaction with Tumbalong Park. With a circular park space, each building must adhere their facing facades with a greater purpose of creating a gateway between the boundaries of two highly populated high-rise areas.
When considering environmental and social aspects, inherent issues are cut through and access points. Within our site's context, the safest methods of walking are not always the most expedient, as pedestrians will often avoid Parramatta Road and Burney Avenue due to high traffic and noise pollution. Such issues create a problem which may result in people avoiding the site altogether. Instead, the opening of the Pipita Rail Trail, combined with the proposed bike path through Batchel Avenue, will offer pedestrians and cyclists a safe and expedient gateway in accessing the site. The proposed public park along the rail trail will act as a visual mediator between the urban conditions and social agency sites. Stemming from the trail's artery, users will access both sites through the park, converging public and private thresholds in order to create shared spaces. Currently, there is a stark contrast between Olympic Park's open and composed green spaces and Lidcombe's confined and chaotic green spaces. This contrast offers both communities an ability to explore alternative green space opportunities. Major wind conditions are a result from consistent and heavy traffic flow along Parramatta Road, effectively pushing hot air throughout the site's northern borders. However, adjacent green spaces allow prevailing easterly and westerly winds to pass through shaded areas and passively cool the site. Sitting at the corner of Parramatta Road, our site is surrounded by an onslaught of motor vehicles exhaling fumes and noise as they pass by, inhibiting pedestrians from resting. The adjacent green space aids in deflecting noise from the M4, yet offers little protection in addressing the exposed north and west conditions. The site has a strong connection to Route 401, which circulates between the residential and industrial zones of Lidcombe. This route develops the corner of the site into a concentrated point of access for pedestrians, compared to the more diluted nature of the eastern edge condition.
Burney Road's view is a stagnant street space where the site is out of scale. Disruptions of the site and Pepita's permeation are clear. Turning around, Olympic Park's site intersection rounds the bend to display a broken reveal of the site. Thresholds are terminated and there is the clutter of the vehicular space. To the west, Lidcombe's bus route grounds one with a hint of the site. The diagonal M4 berm contrasts against the vertical built form. Eastward, the Pepita Bridge walking east or west appears an industrial ruin. The bridges create a sequential intersection of planes which frame Pepita as the focal point. In between these, the corner overlooking Parramatta frames the M4 bridge as a growing skyline gateway with a primitive hut form. It is seen from varied viewpoints. Stepping back, landscape thresholds continue under the M4 bridge. The intersection of ground planes is distinct, as is the horizontal form that denotes the gateway. Upwards, the M4 has a passing view of the site between the tree canopy. Briefly expansive, overlapping cuboid massings complement the shelter of linear street trees. Back southward, the Pepita Trail has a series of varied frames of tree to building. The journey is expansive and compressive, an opportunity for slow and fast space within the intimacy of the berm. Industrial, disconnected, forgotten, linear paths that do not connect, intricate steel, rhythm and a calling for interplay between the ground planes.